And just to kind of cap off my day, I figured I'd do an overall update because I got some stuff done that I didn't do on video. We'll start up front here. I'm pretty much done under here. I got some new hose for this catch can because I was using a let's see if I can find it. I threw it as soon as I found out the new piece would work. I chucked it. Here it is. It's a emissions hose that you can get from the help section at your auto parts store. It's got a convenient 90 and a coupling on this end. The problem, and it actually fit perfect. It was actually, I couldn't believe how great it fit. The problem is the rubber that they use on these ends is just cheap crap. I mean, you see the electric tape on there. That was just so I could start the car, and I didn't have caps to plug things off, so I had to hook this up and taped it so it would work. Anyway, I got some hoses to fit. I got a new brake booster hose because that was nuts, like 4 different pieces of hose. Everything is pretty much buttoned up. I'm gonna leave my stainless hardware in and run without the valve covers or the coil covers for a while, just because I mean I put some work into cleaning them up and the stainless looks pretty good. So I still have to bleed, obviously, get the brakes done, bleed the brakes, bleed the clutch. So I'm leaving my brake line, my bleeder line, kind of there for now. Let's see what else. The wiring is done. It's all pretty much zip tied. Today I secured the new brake lines that I ran, which are completely hidden now. You'll never see them. I used those little, they kind of look like that. Once they're tightened down, the line passes through here, and then you put a screw through here. Clips, I guess, whatever you want to call them. I just put a bunch of them anywhere I could. The AC is hooked up and fully working. The coolant, as far as I can tell, is burped. I couldn't get any more air out of it, and every place I check it, there's coolant. So that's ready to go too. So I'm pretty much happy. I'm happy with underneath the hood. There's still a couple little wiring things I would like to clean up and figure out. And even though it proved to be fatal to the car, I'm going to leave the air intake the way it is with the filter way down here. And I'm going to just try really hard not to take this thing out in the rain. And I did before. I took it out in the rain with no problems. I just went into a puddle that was too big, like an idiot, in an area that floods. So I'm going to leave it like it is, just because, again, I cut a big hole and I spent all that time making, cutting it and whatever. And I'd love to get it, get rid of this and just get one piece of, aluminum tubing made up or something. So maybe I can look into that if I'm looking to change something. But anyways, that's it up underneath the hood. The underside, if you watched my brake video, you'll know that, I don't have the brakes done on this side, but the other side is. My steering's in and tightened. I still need to put my triangle braces in. As soon as I get weight on the front end, I have to tighten my A-arm bolts and also tighten the end links because they're maxed out right now. I don't want to tighten them like that. So, and then you saw, if you looked at my spring install video, you'll see that I used these $6 shock boot covers from Advanced Auto, and they're fantastic. I love them. It's such a stupid thing, but man, I love that they're so long and they don't, they don't pop off when you extend the thing, but then there's still plenty of boot there, and they're still flexible enough that when I, load the suspension, they're going to work perfect. I love it. It's what Bilstein should have sent with those expensive struts to begin with. It's all up on jack stands now because I'm going to redo the back brakes. Inside of the car hasn't changed. Eventually I will eventually clean this up, I guess, before I take it for a ride. The back brakes, like I said, this is a strange 12 bolt, and as you can see, the brakes are rusty as hell. So what I'm gonna do, since I went through the trouble of painting the front brakes, I'm gonna probably just scuff these up and hit them with like a semi-gloss black, and I'm gonna hit these with either like a satin silver, or maybe I'll use that cast aluminum paint just to kind of keep with what I did in the front. But I don't want to go overboard and gloss these like I did. There's not, you know, not much in the face there, and that's a lot of work that I don't want to disconnect the brake lines. I don't want to do it outside. We're just gonna do that. Maybe someday I'll get around to making them look better, but in the meantime, that's it. You can kind of see my new relay from the hot wire kit there. We're gonna come back next time and finish the brakes, I hope, because I was hoping to get them done today. Once I finish the brakes, I will be able to put the car back on the ground, get my bolts tightened up, and then it's gonna be very hard to find a reason why I don't take this for a break-in drive. I did decide through some help on the forums, like Cam and a couple other guys recommended getting some break-in oil, so I'm gonna dump the oil that's in it and put in some Joe Gibbs BR30. I think that's the 5W30 break-in oil. So we'll run that for 500 miles or so and seat those rings. Hopefully the amount that I've idled it trying to figure out my TPS issue didn't screw my window for the seating. I'm hoping not. Should be okay. My plan is basically to drop it and start it and let it warm up a little bit, make sure nothing's spewing, head down the driveway, make sure the brakes work, and then head over across the street into the big parking lot and hopefully do some I gotta bed the pads too. There's so much stuff you have to do when you start over. You got a new motor, new brakes, you know, new this and new that. You got to bed the pads in or else they're not going to work good. You got to bed the rings in or else they're not going to work good. So I'm going to do some, you know, I'm going to try to bed the pads in as quick as I can. And then as long as everything's working, I'm going to take it up the road in like second gear and, you know, wind it up a little bit, let it coast, and wind it up a little bit, let it coast, and maybe do a couple laps around the neighborhood. And I'm just going to drive this thing. I mean, you know, I've read a bunch of things online of just people saying that, you know, you got to get some cylinder pressure build up and you got to seat the rings in or else you could have problems down the road. And I will most definitely figure out a way to mount this phone or camera in the car. So I actually have a buddy that has a GoPro. I might borrow it because, you know, you guys can come along with me. If it fails, you'll see it, and if it works great, you hear me hooting and hollering. So anyway, that's the update for now. I don't know when I'll have another update because things are slowing down, but I'm hoping to get it on the road before cold weather comes. So keep your fingers crossed. Thanks for watching.